Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Luluk Atim Maghfiroh from TBI-C class. Now, I want to tell you the story of a movie with the title Turbo. This film is a story about a snail who has a kind of dream of being able to walk faster than a snail in general. Because as we know, that snail is one of the animals that runs very slowly. Okay, I will tell the story of this film from beginning until the end. There's a snail named Theo who has dreams of being a super speed racer. He always fantasized about racing and always practicing. Even he did a race with a tomato, but he was laughed at by his friends because they thought Theo was dreaming too much. But Theo still did a way to speed up his pace by drinking a drink to increase his running speed. At one point, Theo wanted to save the best tomato from the machine but failed because it wasn't fast enough, so his friend, namely Chad, tried to resuscitate him. But as he pondered, he fell and bounced onto the race car that was about to race. So he was happy because he felt he was participating in the race. Because the car was too fast, Theo slipped under the engine of the race car and was hit by the liquid, so that Theo suddenly had a glowing power in his shell. One day, Theo and Chad were caught and taken to a place by someone named Tito, and there he was contested with some snails. At first, Theo did not move and was considered dead. Then Theo used the strength in his body to defeat the slugs. When he learned of Theo's ability to run, Theo changed his name to Turbo. Even Tito loved him and took Theo to the race venue, the Indianapolis 500. That person registered Theo to take part in the race. However, Theo was rejected and was not allowed to take part in the race because the race was specifically for racing cars. Since becoming a racer is Theo's dream, he shows his speed to everyone in the place and Theo's running speed qualifies. However, Theo has not succeeded and has not been allowed to enter the race until the race committee was forced by everyone who was there to allow Theo to depart in the race, and in the end Theo was allowed to take part in the race. And someone changed Theo's name to Turbo. Chad doesn't like seeing Turbo enter the race because he's worried about Turbo. Chad can save Turbo because Turbo races with cars, not slugs. But Turbo believes because Turbo has power and he believes he can win. The match is about to start. Chad is brought by a small child into the race arena even though Chad can't see Turbo racing. The race began. Turbo was crushed several times and overtaken by several fast racing cars. But he still drove under the racer's car and managed to overtake to occupy the second row. Until Turbo experienced a very hard impact that caused cracks in the shell. Turbo is Turbo, who never gives up. Turbo is still racing at the speed he has. Turbo imagined all those cars were a big tomato he had to reach until he overtook him and came first. But suddenly there was an accident in the race arena that hit Turbo's shell and made its power no longer work. Turbo almost reached the finish line. Turbo tried to go, but he realized that his power could not be used anymore. Turbo finally slipped into his shell. Turbo almost gave up. But Chad comes to cheer Turbo on. With slow steps, Turbo kept trying to reach the finish line, and with difficulty stepping, Turbo got applause from the entire audience. Turbo finally reached the finish line and won the match, even though without his strength anymore. So, this film has a lesson that we must strive to achieve our dreams until they are achieved and not easily give up in reaching their dreams. Well, I think enough from me. Thank you for watching this video. And the last I say, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.